Hi, I'm going to explain to you guys what the Bloated Boar Homebrew monster is. This monster was sent to me by one of my subscribers and I actually turned it into a real stat block in D&D. So to start, this boar is a large beast that you will typically find in grasslands, kind of just grazing and trying to go about its day. It's a lawful neutral, so it won't really attack your players as soon as they walk up to it. But if they start poking and prodding, or maybe if they fail an animal handling check while trying to mount it, it will definitely attack. So this boar is able to be used as a mount. It only has a speed of 40, but you can use it kind of as a riding horse. It would be able to carry like maybe 2 or 3 people because it's large and it does have a strength of 18. But when it comes to actual combat, it is a challenge of 3 and it has 45 hit points. And it has an armor class of 15. When it comes to actually attacking as the boar, it has a tusk attack that does 2d6 plus 3 damage piercing, and it has a plus 7 hit. So it really doesn't do a ton of damage unless it's to really low level parties, but it does have an ability to allow it to last longer in battle. This ability is called Bloat. So twice per day as a bonus action, the bloated boar can become bloated. So when it becomes bloated, visibly you see it increase its size from large to huge. This also gives it an extra d4 to all of its attacks, and it gives it 20 temporary hit points. These temporary hit points, you have to keep in mind, do not stack. So if last time that you made it bloated, it still has some of those temporary hit points left over, when you make it be bloated again, it just takes those 20 and it just has those 20 temporary hit points. When it becomes bloated, this ability only lasts for 2 rounds, and it's kind of meant to scare off a predator in the wild. If something like an owlbear were to come up and try to attack it, then it can get bloated to make it look bigger, and maybe it'll scare off your party members if they walk up to this boar and it becomes bloated and its size increases by an entire size, then maybe it'll make them rethink their choices. Lastly is another ability, kind of a self-destruction ability called Blast of Glory. So when your party fights it, or when it's in a fight and it gets decreased to 0 hit points, then you see it start to expand, kind of like when it got bloated, except it doesn't stop and it starts glowing, and it emits a 15-foot radius of fire energy when it explodes. And everything within that radius has to make a DC 15 dexterity saving throw, or take 5d6 plus 4 fire damage, or half as much if they succeed the throw. So the bloated boar really is something fun that you can throw at your players, especially when it starts increasing in size, or when they finally defeat it and it starts to explode. Maybe it's something they've never seen before, or it can be a fun mount for them, and maybe you don't tell them about the explosion part. And when it gets decreased to 0 hit points, if someone's riding it, then it explodes and they don't really know what to do. So there's a lot of things that you can do with this, and you can check the description for a link, and I posted on DND Beyond if you want to access it.